So, can men and women be friends after you've done this film?
After I've done the film?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I think, you know, it's kind of complicated, but that's okay. I mean, I have lots of lady friends. Don't you?
I'm single, so.
So you want to nail all of them? Yeah, I think so. All right. Good night.
So how did you actually become part of this project?
Well, I'm friends with Jen. This sounds great.
Can everybody hear me if I just talk like this? I'm been friends with Jen Westfeld, who wrote and directed it and started it, and John Hamm for like 15 years. And so about 2 years ago, Jen asked me to come. She had just finished the script that afternoon and asked me to come over to their house that night and just read it out loud at their kitchen table. So we all just did that, and it was a different group of people. Like Jason Segel read Chris O'Dowd's part, I believe, and Paul F. Tompkins read a part. It was just a different group of people. It was really fun. But from there on out, she wanted me to play the part. And that summer, the summer of 2010, we all did readings at for different audiences and stuff, just to keep hearing it, so she could get a sense of what worked and what didn't, and that sort of stuff. So I was kind of in from the beginning, and for whatever reason, she wanted me to play the part, and I kept telling her she could have a much easier time getting the movie financed if she just got someone more famous than me in the part.
Like who?
I was just saying she could cast someone more famous and have an easier time making it. And
Rob Lowe.
And for instance, but for whatever reason, she just stuck by me, which I really appreciate because it's a great part. And yeah, so that's kind of how I got involved, just being friends with them. So lucky me.
Who did she base the role of Jason on and her characters?
I don't think she based any of the characters on any particular people, but just kind of the general experience of having all of your friends have kids around you while you're not. Of which I'm one of the friends who had kids and just completely disappeared from their lives for 6 months or so. So my first reaction when I actually read the script was, shit, sorry.
So since you were friends there at from the beginning, was there any things to the character that changed from your input?
Not substantially. I mean, I had tips here and there about kid stuff just because I have 2 kids. But I mean, the character was there and the whole script was there. Very little actually ended up changing just because it was pretty solid from the beginning.
Well, I'm going to open it up for questions.
I'm just interested, are the pictures that were in the movie, were those actual pictures, or did you all compile those somehow?
Yeah, I think they constructed those. I mean, I think they took us all from different times, because I had never met I didn't, a long time ago I didn't know Kristen and Maya and all of them, but I think maybe one of them was real, of Jen and Hamm and I, maybe. I don't know. It's a good question.
How did John Hamm feel about, or how close was he to the scene where you were having fun with Jennifer Westfeld?
How close was he?
Or was he in the vicinity? Or
No. I don't think he was around, but it was not a big deal. We were kind of nervous about it because it's just weird, but then we did it and it was not a big deal. But I don't think he was there that day just out of not wanting it to be uncomfortable. But it really wasn't that uncomfortable. It was totally fine. Sorry.
Oh.
All right. First off, I just want to say that I've seen everything you've ever done, and If Jennifer Westphal being the director and being close friends, does that make it easier, or if that was sort of made it a little more self-conscious your before?
No, it made it easier just because there was no like get to know you period, and we kind of already have a rapport, and everybody was kind of friends on set. It was fun. I like working with my friends. It's just fun, and we all know what we like. We all have like similar sensibilities, and it's really fun. It's kind of my favorite thing to do is just making things with my friends. I just did a thing that like a short that I directed with my friend Lance, and we just asked all of our friends to kind of help out, and it's just so fun, because it's like if you're gonna, especially since I have kids, like if I'm gonna be away from them, I want the thing I'm doing to be really fun and not stressful, and so yeah, so it's kind of the best way to work, I think. And it was fun. It wasn't weird.
What was it like working with Maya Rudolph and Kristen Wiig? Because I can imagine that they are an absolute hoot together.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, they're really sweet people and hilarious, obviously. Yeah, it was terrific. I mean, it's probably what you think it would be, which is super funny and really fun, and you know, I'm kidding. They're assholes. No, it was great.
There are a lot of really good-looking people in this movie, and so who would you say is better looking, John Hamm or Megan Fox?
John Hamm or Megan. Well, I think that what they should do is they should fuck and make like a super insane looking baby, like a baby that would. I mean, if they have a baby, that baby would become president of the United States, like right after it's born. It would just be automatically. We would need it to be the leader of the world.
Okay. There was a lot of kids in that movie. How many babies did you go through?
That's a good question, because they're right, because there's like different stages.
Yeah.
I think 3, but I could be wrong. Because there were infants, which were twins. So when one would start freaking out, they would bring the other one in, and then there was like toddler, and then like bigger kid. So yeah, there were like 3, and then there were other people's kids, so they were all over the place. It was crazy. There were
like
kids everywhere.
daycare.
Yeah, it was. It was like daycare, and then they all had their parents. So each kid had 2 parents and sometimes a minder, and then someone with them who wanted to meet John Hamm. Like, so many people crowded into these little hot apartments in New York.
Fun time.
Yeah, doesn't that sound fun? I was just saying that was fun. It was fun, right? It was fun.
So jumping off that question, so how easy is it for as an actor to work with kids?
Well, I have a pretty easy time with kids just because I have some, and I kind of know how to like deal with kids. But in a movie, you know, it's a job, and you're there to work, and they have an expiration date, and they're just done. They don't give a shit about the movie. So, you know, it's challenging because you want to get the right stuff from them, but you also don't want to, because after you ask them to do it for the 9th time, you start feeling cruel. So there's like a way to do it, and I think Jen did a good job, which is so many times you find little kid acting is super stiff and fake. You know, when you're watching something, it doesn't feel. So I think the trick is to just kind of let them do what they do and try and capture it and cut it in properly, rather than making them do something that they're just not. They don't care about. You know, which I think she did a good job with.
How is filming a movie like this different from filming a movie like The Vicious Kind?
It was actually kind of similar, just because they're both super low budget movies. I mean, this had a bigger budget than Vicious Kind, but it also was very low budget. So it's just very fast, and we don't have much time and not a lot of takes or anything, and no trailers to go relax in. I remember we did have a trailer one day, but we would all, there's like a room in the trailer that was separated by like a paper thin kind of, like the accordion sort of doors that and then they kind of latch. So it was literally as thin as paper, so the other person on the other side was like sitting like where you are, and you're sitting with this piece of paper between you, and like mine was with Kristen, and I remember just sitting there, and you could hear each other just go like this. It was so weird, so I had to just like get out of there. So it was very close quarters, and Vicious Kind was the same except worse. But I like making stuff that way. It's fun, and there's a lot of like camaraderie because you're all kind of in the same boat together, and you do it quickly. Like we shot this in 24 days, which is really fast for a movie like this. Like the studio version of this would be like 4 months. So I like it, but it is fast.
When you and Megan Fox are, the scene where you're having sex like in the other room, like, is that just like an audio thing, or are you like actually back there, like?
No, we recorded that separately like a year later in recording studios. Yeah.
Like separately?
Yeah. I feel like you have a few more questions.
What are you doing in Atlanta? Like, what are you filming?
I'm filming a movie here. We start on Monday. It's called Adult Children of Divorce, and it's a comedy. And, it has a great cast. It has Jane Lynch, Richard Jenkins, Catherine O'Hara, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Jessica Alba and Amy Poehler. It's awesome. What?
I was going to ask you when she gets here, but that's a little too personal.
It is, but I also don't know.
My favorite thing when I watch you in anything is you have incredible timing. Is that something you feel like you were just kind of born into, or is that something you practiced and learned somewhere along the way?
Well, thanks. That's a nice thing to say. I don't know. I think it's a relative thing. I think that there are some people that would think I have terrible timing, but I think that since you think I do, I think you are right. No, I think it's just like a relative thing, and I don't know. It's a weird little kind of nebulous thing that it's like sometimes it's off and it doesn't really work, and that's why you have lots of takes, so you can keep trying to find that weird little place where it'll make it funnier if you do or say something at a particular time. It's a weird thing. I haven't figured it out. I haven't figured out why it's funny when a certain thing happens at a certain time, and then you wait a nanosecond later and it's not funny anymore. It's so weird. But it's fun to try and figure it out. But thanks.
Okay. How much of the script would you say was free to improvise?
There was no improvisation in this movie.
Okay.
I mean, we did a little bit, mostly just to kind of loosen up, but there's none in the movie, I don't think. I mean, maybe like a thing here and there, but not really. It was a really kind of, the script itself had like its own rhythm and timing in it, so it was hard to kind of improvise into that.